So they're just kicking off. I'm still trying to sort everything out. Mm, I think Twitch is working, but I don't think YouTube is. You don't think much would have happened? Do you think he would have just kind of stayed on the bench? Maybe he would start over Nunes and stuff. Possibly. I think at this point I definitely would have. Can you let me know, is the stream like smooth or is it like really jumpy? Because I changed some settings and I'm getting like error messages, but so I don't know if it's working. I mean, he's not that crazy at the moment. Yeah, true, true. It's laggy for you, yeah. Can you let me know if that's any better now? It should be. I'm hoping that's fixed it. Fingers crossed. Ah, it's good now. Okay, that's good. I tried to change some settings yesterday to make it better, and I think I made it worse because I was just getting loads of error messages as well, and I was like, oh God, what have I done? But I think it's okay. Yeah, so everything's saying excellent connection now. But yeah, so England versus Latvia. Hopefully, I can remember to update the score today. Um, in terms of lineups, then Pickford in goal because there's no one else to go in goal. James right back. Is that Reece James? Don't tell me Reece James is fit. I'm in shock that Reece James is fit. Konza, not Kwanzaa, but Konza. I always get confused between the two. Konza and Gahey. Lewis Skelly left back. Um, after his goal the other day. Bellingham, Rice in midfield. Bowen, Rashford, and Rodgers in the three, and then Kane up front by himself. Yeah, let's bet on Latvia to win today. He'll be fit for one game and then back and then back to injury for another 8 months probably. That's the way it goes with Reece James. So that's Jared Bowen. So we've got Jared Bowen on the right. He will be back doing his janitor work again. Yeah, what was that about? Was that like a modeling show or something that he did? And it's like, why? Why are you doing that? People are just gonna make fun of you, right? It was it was kind of funny. I don't know why we are even watching this game. I don't know why we're even watching this game. England is so boring. So you made 2 points there. I don't know why we're watching this game, and England are boring. And I can confirm that both points are correct. So I don't know why we're watching this game either. Um, it just felt like, in some ways, the obvious one to watch. But you're right, England are boring. They've been boring for as long as I can remember. Um, yeah, we already know England would win against Latvia. True, true. Flexi is asking, how much would you take for Diaz? Ooh, that's a good question. I think we bought him for about 37. Was it like 37 million? 37 million, something like that. And I know the market has changed a lot since then. I think if we can get 70, I know Barcelona are really interested in him, and I don't quite understand why. But I think if we can get 70 around that mark, I'd be kind of super happy. Partly because I think we can get a similar amount for Nunes as well. So then 140 million, you can do a lot with that. Um, might as well just watch the Poland game. Yeah, Poland would probably be more exciting than these guys. England are just kind of passing it around the back. Um, Romania already scored against San Marino, and Albania scored against Andorra. So it's good to see there's some goals. I wonder if we'll get as many goals as yesterday. Ooh, Bellingham. Nah, nothing happened. Yeah, this Tuchel ball isn't the most riveting, shall we say. Foul on England there by Siganis. Foul on Jared Bowen. I bet it's going to be a boring 2-0 win for England. I think you're right. After the boring 2-0 win that we had the other day. Um, what do you think of Arne Slot's first season? Um, Good. I mean, if I know it's easy. I know it's easy to be disappointed about the Champions League. Um, I know it's easy to be disappointed about the FA Cup. I know it's easy to be disappointed about the Carabao Cup. But if he wins the Premier League, if he wins the Premier League, you've got to surely give him at least a 9 out of 10. I mean, if you were to give him a 10 out of 10, I wouldn't even complain. But yeah, I mean, if he does win the Premier League, which is what looks like is going to happen, yeah, I mean, you can't really ask for much more in a manager's first season where he hasn't bought any players, and I'm not counting Chiesa because he doesn't play him. You'd have to give him at least 9 out of 10. Snus says Tuchel ball is quite boring AF, 100%. Very, very kind of defensive football. He was quite boring at Dortmund, quite boring at Chelsea. I think he was at PSG for a bit as well. Yeah, not the most exciting football. Norway under 21 won 2-0 against Czech Republic. That's a good win. That's a good win. Encouraging for the future. Imagine us winning the league with 97 points. Yeah, that would be quite poetic, I think. Um, was it 99 when we won it a few years ago? I think it was 99. Um, Higher first season than Mourinho. Yeah, and Mourinho's viewed as a legend. So yeah, I think if Slot wins the league, in his first season, you have to give him at least a 9 out of 10. I think. Mourinho was 94 in his first season with his defensive team. Yeah, true, true. I wonder who else has won the league in their first season, or if it's just Slot and Mourinho. I don't think Guardiola did. Um, I might Google it actually. Premier League winners first season. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, so Jose Mourinho, uh, Carlo Ancelotti in 2009 2010, Manuel Pellegrini 2013 2014. I didn't think that was his first season, but fair enough. Antonio Conte. So yeah, quite a few quite a few Chelsea managers. Yeah, it was a few. It's those four, and Slot will be the fifth one. Impressive. Latvia are attacking. They don't really do much with it. Lewis Skelly is just clearing it. Goes to Harry Kane on the left. Some interesting talk about Harry Kane recently, uh, which is interesting considering how much we were hating on him recently. But I know he was linked with Liverpool today, but I think that's just um, yeah. I don't know how much truth there is within that. With possibly the highest points tally, even if we draw one game. Let's say we win every game besides one draw against Arsenal. That's 95 points. Yeah, that would be he'd eclipse Mourinho then. That would be amazing. Um, but I would say if provided he wins the league, regardless of the points tally, I'd still give him like a 9 out of 10. And if anyone was to give him a 10 out of 10, I wouldn't argue. Jared Bowen's just hit the post there. Does it matter? Not really. Because it's Latvia. Harry Kane linked with us. I don't want Spurs jeans. That's understandable. I totally agree with you there. It's a very solid win, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's kind of what I was saying. A win's a win at the end of the day. So Declan Rice with the ball now. Declan Rice, crossfield pass to Jared Bowen. I do like seeing Jared Bowen on the wing instead of Foden. Foden was completely kind of ineffectual. So having Jared Bowen there instead is a welcome change. It goes out to Rashford on the left. Ooh, Rashford beats his man. Rashford probably gets fouled. Nope. Dive. Rashford kind of dribbled into the box and the fullback slid on him. Naturally, whenever you see a player go down in the box, you always think penalty, but the ref just kind of waved it off. Rashford Sinus is saying Rashford is a diver. Who cares? The ref is right. Let the game go. Moving on. To be fair, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it when refs kind of let the game flow and they don't repeatedly stop it. I'd even be in favor of the refs kind of giving more cards and things if players kind of dive. It just kind of irritates me. So diver Rashford takes a throw in, passes it to Bellingham. Bellingham passes it back to Konza, to Reece James, who hasn't broken his legs yet. Lewis Skelly, Bellingham, to Lewis Skelly. Reece James, who's that on the right? Oh, that's Morgan Rogers. Okay, Morgan Rogers. Norway beat Latvia 2-0 the last time we beat them. So if England can't, I don't even know what to say. yeah, I think England should be looking at least a 2-0 win here. Albania 2-0. So Albania showing everyone how it's done. Clearly. Corner to England now. Declan Rice taking the corner. I have a feeling nothing will happen from this corner. I know that's not saying much. Bellingham gets his head on it and England almost score. So Bellingham with a good header, but it went right to the keeper. They're just showing the replay now. Oh, the ball actually fell to Konza and Konza smacked it right at the keeper. But yeah, a good attempt nonetheless. Another header by Bellingham, but the ball just kind of goes out. So England looking threatening, but not quite, not quite threatening enough. Bellingham's header just hit Rashford on the backside, so Rashford was in the way. So that's kind of Rashford's fault. Goal kick by Latvia. Ball just gets passed back to Pickford. Maxwell 2222 says, "Hey, would you cover the Liverpool versus Everton game next week?" I will, for definite. Looking forward to it. I think everyone's looking forward to it. International football doesn't quite hit the same. It doesn't quite hit the same spot. We're waiting for the proper football to get back, which is the Premier League. So yeah, no, I definitely will be covering that. I'm generally kind of only covering the international games because that's what's on at the moment. But it's not the same. It's not the same as proper club football. So yeah, I will definitely be doing that. I think it's on Wednesday, is it? So yeah. Ball goes back to Rice. Rice plays it to Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers on the edge of the box. A nice through ball to Reece James. Cross. Falls to Harry Kane. Free header in the box and he heads it over. Those are those Spurs genes, which nobody wants anywhere near this club. Yeah, it's like we're not gonna pay. We're reluctant to pay high wages to Salah. We're reluctant to pay high wages to Van Dijk, and I don't know if it's because they're both over 30 or whatever. So given that we're reluctant to pay high wages to those players, I doubt we'd pay high wages to Harry Kane. Harry Kane's gonna be asking for like 300 grand a week plus, and even then, there's some concerns about his fitness, concerns about his ankles, concerns about his running. So it just doesn't feel. It doesn't feel like a very Liverpool signing. It feels like more of a Man United signing, where they just pay a crazy transfer fee and they pay crazy wages for a player who's on the decline. I know Harry Kane scored a lot of goals, but it is Bundesliga, playing for Bayern Munich. If I was playing for Bayern Munich, I'd at least score a few. I mean, a few penalties, if anything. So yeah, it doesn't feel like a very Liverpool signing, given that evidence. Snus says, once again, you're watching the wrong game. I always pick the wrong games. I don't know if I'm cursed or something. We normally have the curse king in the chat. He might have placed a curse on me because he's always giving me the wrong games. The good thing is when Liverpool are back, there are no wrong games. So we'll all look forward to that. Yesterday, I wouldn't say we watched the wrong game. Yeah, you're right. I think at the start we kind of felt a bit like that, but in the end, it became quite entertaining. So Morgan Rogers on the right again, which is interesting. Passes it to Bowen. Passes it to Lewis Skelly. Morgan Rogers using his skills. Morgan Rogers is another player that some people are interested in. I think we were talking about it the other day. Some people really want him, but I think we were saying in the chat that we're a bit kind of lukewarm, where he wouldn't be our first choice. Ball falls to Jared Bowen. Ball falls to Morgan Rogers. Nothing much happens. I was watching a guy that was trying to predict our summer sales, and he gave us 5 out, 5 ins, and he was triggering me so badly. Where was that? Was that on Twitch or was that on YouTube? He believed. Oh my god! I've already started to read the first half of your sentence, and I'm getting a bit triggered. I'm getting a bit triggered as well. He believed we would get Delap. I don't see Delap happening. Zubamendi, I don't see Zubamendi happening because of what happened last year. There's a penalty check for England, by the way. Not that anyone cares. Because Liverpool stuff is more exciting. Kirkes is one that I can see happening. Jonathan David probably not, and Cunha is one that I could see happening. So out of those two, perhaps Kirkes and Cunha. But with respect to that list, would it be is there an assumption that Salah, Van Dijk and Trent would stay? Because there's no right back in there. There's no centre back. There's no right winger. So yeah, a YouTube video. Yeah, fair. Hato is also there. He's an option, but he just feels like he's a bit too young. All Red Liverpool is the channel. Okay, interesting. Not heard of that one, but I'll try. I'll try checking that out. I think that's a corner there. Corner to England. England are putting the pressure on. Half an hour, no goal yet, but they're trying their best. That's the best we can say. And Nunez Comp 400 says, big up. What about João Pedro? He's an option. He perhaps good link-up play, kind of good passing. My concern with João Pedro is I don't feel like he gets enough goals. I think last year in the Premier League, I think he only got like 9. And I think this year, a bit less. He reminds me a bit of Firmino, but with even less goals. So I'm not convinced that he's the answer. I wouldn't say no. I mean, if he was like cheap, not that he would be cheap, but you know what I mean. If there was like a McAllister clause in his contract, you know how McAllister had a clause to let him go for 35 million. Like if he had some sort of Brighton clause like that, maybe. But he wouldn't be kind of one of the kind of top choices. Snus says, I wouldn't mind João Pedro, but I want a real striker. Yeah, kind of similar to what I was saying in the sense that I don't feel like he gets enough goals. So yeah, real striker, don't feel like he gets enough goals. Kind of similar sort of things there. Why we were wasting money on talent? Don't we want to win? I think that's a good point. In the sense that if we buy too many talents, then there's going to be like a few years where we don't win anything. Because those talents need to still learn, they still need to mature, they still need to develop their game. So in a way, it's a bit like what Chelsea did, where they just bought every young player. They just purchased every single young player, and then you do okay for a bit, but eventually you kind of fall off. So yeah, I think if we were to go down the young talent route, then we wouldn't be winning anything for a few years at least. I would get Isak, or at least try to get him. If they get Champions League, we won't get him. But if they don't, go hard for him. Yeah, would you on that as well? Isak is you'd have to say alongside Haaland, probably the best striker in the league. He can do it all. He can finish. His movement is very good. That's what in some ways kind of impresses me the most about Isak is his movement. Obviously his finishing is good. His dribbling is good. He's strong. He's fast. He's got good physical attributes. So yeah, if he's available, then we should be all over that. Ball just falls to Harry Kane, falls to Morgan Rogers, cleared out. Talents don't mean they will succeed. True. If we were to if we were to make a list of every single talent who ever existed, more failed than succeeded. Um, Look at Ryan Brewster. Ryan Brewster was viewed as a talent. It didn't quite work out for him. Jordan Ibe was viewed as a talent when Sterling left. Jordan Ibe, it didn't quite work out for them. So it is a risk. Um, so sick and tired of players like Ryan Shirky and stuff. Yes, they are low risk, high reward, but we are Liverpool, not Brighton. Yeah, true. Um, I'd like us to. I don't mind us buying talents as a to fill a position in the squad. You know what I mean, like as a sub. But it does get a bit concerning if we're kind of shopping in the talent market for first team starters, because I think when that happens, you run the risk because the talents don't have the experience. So I'd say adding them to the squad is okay, but like if your first choice centre back is a talent, your first choice striker is a talent, your first choice left back is a talent, your first choice midfielder is a talent, then you just have a team full of kids. Iago Aspas was the big new toy. You got him and he flopped. Yeah, 100%. I think that's the point. That it's all well and good getting excited about talents, but ultimately more talents flop than succeed. So I think I think the team just needs to find the right kind of mix. I think this might be a free kick to England. Yeah, free kick. On the right hand side, it's being taken by Jared Bowen, who's probably gonna whip a crossing. Do I expect anything to happen? No, but you never know. Yeah, headed over by Bellingham. This is the kind of problem with England where they play teams like Latvia and kind of so forth, um, during these friendlies and during these nation leagues, and then whenever they come up against proper teams like your Frances and so forth, then they get knocked out. Like even if England beat Latvia today, there's going to be so much hype. People are going to say, "Oh, Tuchel has 100% record," and they won't pay attention to kind of the standard of the opposition. Um, we normally buy almost world class players and we make them world class, but we're winning the Premier League this season. We might as well stay at the top. I think that's one of the concerns from when we won the Premier League last time. We didn't do enough to stay at the top. So we did enough to get to the mountain, but once we were at the top of the mountain, we didn't care about staying there. So I think we just kind of signed Was that the year we bought Harvey Elliott, kind of set Vandenberg, two prospects basically? Um, yeah, not ideal. We make money from winning the Premier League. We make money to qualify from the Champions League. Why not spend that money and we're selling players and stuff? Yeah, and I think the other side of the coin is we sell players and we release players on a free. And if we just consider who left the previous summer, so um, Thiago left, Matip left, and Klopp left. Thiago was probably on 200 grand a week. Matip was probably on about 150, which is then 350. Klopp would have been on about 300 grand a week as well. So that's seven grand a week saved. Um, so we make huge savings from people who depart. So I'd like to see a bit more ambition. I'd like to see a bit more ambition. I know FSG have their way of running things and they run it like it's a business, and I get it. And there are some strengths to doing it in that way, but I just like to see a bit more ambition. Like I think the worst one for me is when we had no defenders and we got to the very end of the window and they just gave like Ozan Kabak on loan, who again was a prospect. Ozan Kabak was also a prospect at the time. And again, Ozan Kabak is another prospect who hasn't worked out. But yeah, they gave Ozan Kabak and they gave that Ben Davies guy who played no games. So yeah, I'd like to see um, a bit more ambition, a bit more risk taking. Matip, Thiago, yeah, and Klopp as well. And I think also from the sales we made quite a lot. So Fabio Carvalho went for a ridiculous fee. Sepp Vanden, but oh my God, what a free kick! I think that was Reece. I think that was Reece James. He just scored a free kick from about 25-30 yards out. I saw it traveling in the air and I thought, okay, that's just gonna go out. But nah, fair play. He no, not 25. That's a lot closer to be fair. That's probably about 15-20 yards. Nice free kick. The hospital did well during this particular stay. Um, we should buy two centre backs. Sell Joe Gomez, sell Simicas, sell Nunes, sell Jota, sell Diaz, and replace. Interesting. We do need more centre backs, I think, because when Matip left last season, we didn't really replace him. Um, so in terms of centre backs, we've got Van Dijk, and obviously, if Van Dijk leaves, we need another one. But if we just pretend Van Dijk is still here, so we'd have Van Dijk, we'd have Kanate, who there are also contract concerns about because Kanate's contract's up at the end of next season. But anyway, I'm Van Dijk, Kanate, Kwanzaa. Um, yeah, I think at the very least we need to get another kind of senior centre back in. Regarding the ones you want to sell, I'll admit I have a bit of a soft spot for Joe Gomez, um, purely because of his kind of versatility in terms of he can play right back and he can play centre back and he can play left back. So I quite like that about Joe Gomez. And the other thing about Joe Gomez is he counts as an English player and he counts as a homegrown player for the Champions League as well. So Joe Gomez is one. Like I get why people want to sell him, but I actually don't mind kind of keeping Joe Gomez. Sal Simicas, yeah, with you on that. Sal Nunes, yes. Sal Jota, Sal Diaz. So in terms of sales there. So if we were to sell Joe Gomez, I think we could probably get about 30 million. Simicas, probably 25. I don't know. So then that's 55. Nunes 70. That's 125. Jota 40. That's 165. And then Diaz 70. So that'd be 235 million. That should be plenty to play about with. And in reality, the owners should put a bit on top. Because bear in mind this year as well, we raised a lot of money and we didn't really buy anyone. We sold Fabio Carvalho. We sold Sepp Vandenberg, which totaled about 60 million, and we sold a few more. So I'd be hoping that the ownership would put a bit of extra money on top of that. Van Dijk, Konate, Kwanzaa. We need two more centre backs. Oh yeah, because you're saying that Konate is injury prone. That's a good point. That is a good point as well. Yeah, I was thinking one, but now that you've mentioned the kind of injury proneness, yeah, two would be ideal. We can get Mark Gay. He'd be a decent signing, and he'd be homegrown as well because he's English. But yeah, Mark Gay would be a decent signing to replace Joe Gomez. Kelleher's another one, yeah. Kelleher will be gone as well, so another 20 to 25 million. Yep. And the good thing is we don't need to replace Kelleher because we already replaced him. So yeah, there should be plenty of money. There should be plenty of money there. So I don't want to hear any excuses. There probably are going to be excuses, let's be honest. But what more can we say at this point? So Latvia now. Latvia are attacking. Latvia have gotten a throw in. Good for Latvia. I'm happy for Latvia. I haven't updated the score. But I will update the score now. I don't know how people always remember to do this. There we go. England 1, Latvia 0. Latvia with some nice passing. Ooh, nice 1-2 by Latvia. Again, I have no idea who any of the players are, so I'm just going to keep saying Latvia. Latvia in space. Number 10. Number 10 takes a shot. Ooh, the number 10 should have passed it to the right winger, who was in acres of space, but the number 10... We were just hyping up Mark Gahey, and I think that was his mistake. He lost the ball, but... It's encouraging. It's encouraging. They are trying. They are trying something. Gahey now passes it to Bellingham. Bellingham on the left to Gahey. Konza, Rice, Jared Bowen running down the right hand side. Jared Bowen has looked significantly more dangerous than Phil Foden ever did. Konza to Reece James, the goal scorer, puts a nice cross in there. Cleared by Latvia. They're just replaying like Reece James's cross 5 times. It's like, we get it. Not even his goal, like just the cross that he did. Lily Sanderson says, I miss Sadio Mane. I miss Sadio Mane, one of the best left wingers I've ever seen. He was amazing. He could do it all. He could pass, he could score. He had good strength. He was quick. He was intelligent, especially if you consider his goal against Bayern in that Champions League. I miss him as well. Definitely kind of levels above Diaz. It's a shame. I don't think the left hand side has quite been the same since he's gone, unfortunately. Sinus says, who I want to come in would be something like Kerkez, so as the left back, Schlotterbeck from Dortmund as a centre back, and Huijsen as another centre back if we're able. If not, Mark Gahey, Julian Alvarez, Jonathan David, and we need a left winger. I don't know. Schlotterbeck's another one. Schlotterbeck's another one that people are talking about. Good defender. He is left-footed, I think, Schlotterbeck. So if Schlotterbeck was to come in, like, would that mean Van Dijk moves over to the right-hand side? Because Van Dijk normally plays on the left-hand side. I'd be curious to see how their partnership would work. Um, but yeah, Schlotterbeck is another good one. Kerkez is currently my first choice for left back. I can't think. I'd rather have Kerkez over Hato. Because I think he's shown that he can do it in the Premier League. And there's no kind of guarantee that everyone can. Huijsen is another one who we've been kind of watching for the last few days. Huijsen's looked very assured, also kind of given his age. The only kind of slight concern is would Real Madrid be in for him? Because if they are, then we might struggle to get him. If not, then Mark Gahey, Julian Alvarez, yeah, he's another one. I wonder if I know a lot of people are interested in Julian Alvarez, and a lot of people are saying that Julian Alvarez would be their first choice. I think he's good. I think his quality. The only concern is, would he be really expensive? Because Atletico Madrid, they paid 85 million for him, I think, and I presume they're not going to want to make a loss. So unless there's a release clause, he could cost a lot of money. So first half over, 1-0 to England. So the prediction of 2-0 might be right. They might get a second goal, and then we can say the prediction was correct. Where am I? Lily Sanderson says, should we keep Kelleher? I quite like Kelleher, but I think he really wants to start playing first team football now. Given that he's been our kind of second choice keeper for a while now, and I think he just wants to move on. I think you can tell that he really wants to go, and I think it's only fair to him that we give him that opportunity now. Where am I? Yeah, and Snow said the same thing, that no, Mamadashvili is coming in, so Kelleher would want to start games. Yeah. I think Mamadashvili and Alisson will compete for the starting spot. Alisson will have it by default because he has it now. But if Alisson was to go out injured again and then Mamadashvili looks amazing, then he might have the spot. But yeah, I think unfortunately Kelleher's probably going to go. But as I said, I like having him, but given the circumstances, Kelleher's probably going to go. Jonathan David only because he's free. Yeah, fair. And he would be another option. He could come from the bench. I wouldn't mind Cunha for that left wing spot with Gakpo and maybe Ederson. Yeah, Cunha's another one. Cunha's quite impressive. He feels a bit like, not that this is a bad thing, but he feels a bit like a second option if we can't get Isak. But Cunha would definitely improve this team, and we only need to look as far back as that goal that he scored against us. You know, where he kind of cut inside on his left Gravenberch for dead, and then kind of curled it in the far post. Yeah, Cunha's quality. Throw Nunes and some cash for Alvarez. Yeah, physically throw Nunes at him. Here you go, have him, have David. Yeah, that could work actually. That could work as a part exchange deal. Nunes and some cash for Alvarez. Yeah, but then the question is, how much is some cash? Is it 30 million? Or is it 50? And I only think we will get 40 to 50 million for Nunes. You could be right. I think that Saudi offer was more. It was more inflated because it was January. If you know what I mean. And I think now that it's the summer, typically teams are less desperate in the summer because there's more choice available. So yeah, we might not get 70 unless we do some kind of crazy wizardry. Yeah, we will not. I think we'll only get 40 to 50 million for Nunez. We will not get 70 unless Saudi is overpaying. Correct on that. Um, AC Milan wanted him in the summer for 60. Okay, I'd be interested to see Nunez in the Italian league. I'd just be interested to see that. I'd be more interested in seeing Nunez in the Italian league over the Spanish league. So Italy could be a good option as well. Um, and Diaz is another one. 50 to 60-ish is a fair price. I don't see him going for 70. Yeah. I think if we settle on 60, I think we can get more than 50, hopefully. I think hopefully we can get a bit more than 50. Um, I don't see him going for 70. I would love 70. Yeah, I'd love 70 as well. That's my ideal fee. But I think if we can get around the 60 mark, I'd be relatively kind of content with that. I think we can I think we can invest that really well. Yeah, it will be an interesting it will be like an interesting summer. I think I might start doing some kind of streams on like the transfer rumors and that sort of thing because that's always quite interesting. It's probably more interesting than watching England. So I think once these matches are done, I'll try kind of making things maybe a bit more Liverpool focused with transfer rumours, and then we can talk through the transfer rumours, that sort of thing. That sort of thing is always interesting. To be honest, that's what we end up doing here anyway. So I might as well just do that instead. Swiss Marco says thoughts on the Liverpool Harry Kane link. Harry Kane links. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Marco. In the sense that I think we were saying. We don't really see it happening. I feel like somebody's put 2 and 2 together and they've gotten 5. I think if Harry Kane was a lot younger, and was on significantly lower wages, then maybe. But facts are he's like 32, and he's gonna want at least 300 grand a week, and there are fitness concerns, so. That doesn't sound like a Liverpool type of signing. It sounds more like a Casemiro type of signing. Or it sounds more like a Casemiro type of signing or a Rafael Varane type of signing. Like a legendary player getting on a bit now, can still maybe offer a little bit, but we don't know how long they can offer it for. That's not a Liverpool signing for me. That's more of, say, that team who bought Casemiro, that team who bought Rafael Varane. It's more kind of one for them, I think. We also need to know these players potential. Yeah, I didn't even think of that, but that's a good point there, to basically say we also need to know these players potentially won the Premier League, so that could put their price up. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's a really good point. When they're being sold, they can say, look, this player has helped us win the Premier League right now, not like 5 years ago. This player has literally just won the Premier League, so surely that puts the price up a little bit. So I think that's a very good point. I can see Man United buying him in the summer. Yeah, Harry Kane. They're just showing a replay now of Harry Kane heading the ball over the box. But yeah, Harry Kane right now doesn't feel like a Liverpool signing. But Liverpool won't go for him. Yeah, I doubt it. Like, even if Harry Kane was on a free, like, let's pretend he's on a free, right? Even on a free for like 300 plus grand a week, 400 grand a week, it doesn't feel like a deal that Liverpool would do, because it feels like a very short term deal. and this doesn't strike me as a team that works on a short-term basis, um, especially kind of given the concerns that there are right now about contracts. Like three of our best players, they don't want to give mega money to, and these are three of our best players who have performed year after year. So if we don't want to pay them, like why would we pay like a stranger that kind of money? It just doesn't make sense. Um, yeah, so yeah, yeah, exactly. FSG barely want to give the best winger in the world a new contract, and that new contract would be similar, probably around the ballpark of what Harry Kane would offer. So if they don't want to give it to our own guy, why would they give it to another guy? Kane won't come anywhere near the LFC squad. Yeah, I don't see it happening. If it does happen, I'll be shocked. But I don't see it happening, to be fair. Dean Smith on YouTube says, you did say you were going to try wearing your Liverpool short backwards. I did try. I did try to wear it backwards before I came on stream. The trouble is, when I wear it backwards, the back part kind of chokes my neck. And I was in hospital. Like, that part of my neck there is very kind of sensitive. So I was in hospital for that. So when I wear it backwards, the back part of the neck kind of chokes it. And then it's not good. I tried, but yeah, it would have been a disaster. But I hope wearing it the correct way around is not too bad. Snus on Twitch says, I can see us signing Isaac over Kane. Yeah, yes, exactly. Because of his age bracket. Yeah, he's the right age. He's the right profile. He'd also probably be on less wages than what Kane would be on. So this feels like more of a Liverpool signing because of the age, because of the wages, and because he wouldn't be a signing just for 1 or 2 years. He'd be a signing for multiple years, and it seems like Liverpool, they build a squad around a way of playing. Whereas if you were to sign Harry Kane, that way of playing would only really be active for like 2 years. Because there's no chance Harry Kane... there's no chance Harry Kane is going to carry on going for another 3-4 years. So yeah, I don't see Harry Kane going. Isak is a lot more likely. Dean Smith is saying, where is your McAllister shirt? That's drying, I think, at the moment. On the topic of shirts, actually, I'm looking forward to the Adidas shirts that are gonna come out. I always think Adidas and Liverpool, they go really well together, and from what I can see as well, on the leaked images of the kits, it's a darker red, and I always like it when it's a darker red compared to a brighter red. So yeah, excited for the Adidas kits for definite. I wonder when they come out, I'm very curious. DJ Corleone says, yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely. I definitely prefer the darker red Liverpool kits. The one I think the the one where we won the Champions League. I think the New Balance one, where it was like the very kind of dark red. That one was probably one of my favorite kits so far. The Premier League one with the horizontal with the vertical lines, I didn't like that one kind of so much. Um, but yeah, darker red is better. Dean Smith on YouTube says, "Can you please get me your McAllister shirt?" I would, but it's soaking wet at the moment. It's currently drying. I'll try to wear that for the next stream. Snus on Twitch says, "ROFL, my mate Chelsea fan. After Reece James free kick, he's world class." Nah, Reece James can't be world class when he only plays 5 games per season, and even then, even that 5 games seems like a bit of an exaggeration. But yeah, again, it's just reactionary, isn't it? You score a free kick against the mighty Latvia, and suddenly you're world class. Like he's a I mean, he's literally like a hospital patient. I mean, he is a good player. He is talented, but again, this reactionary kind of fan bases. I think that like they're just like so desperate for like some level of happiness that they just have to hype up these players. But yeah, I think Reece James should stick to being a janitor. I mean, if he can stay fit and just not repeatedly get injured, I mean, he can do well. But this is probably the only time we're gonna see him for the rest of the season. So, kind of, what's the point? Dean Smith on YouTube says, "Can you please kindly do a live stream tomorrow at midday wearing your McAllister shirt?" Um, I would tomorrow at midday. I'm at work, so I'm not going to be able to. The best thing I can do is the next time I do a live stream, which might be Thursday, because tomorrow I won't be able to, and I'm not sure if I will be able to on Wednesday also, Dean. Um, but I'm gonna try and do the Barcelona game on Thursday, and on Thursday I'll wear the Liverpool shirt, the McAllister shirt. Um, Sinus on Twitch, Mo El Yunusi also scored against Latvia for Norway. I guess he is world class. By your friend's logic, yes. And if there was a second scorer in the Norway 2-0 win, then I'm happy to report the second scorer is also world class. So a lot of world class players here scoring against the mighty Latvia. But second half has started now. So it's Konza, it's Reece James, it's Bellingham. Nice through ball to Bellingham. Oh, keeper saves the ball. Oh, that was Haaland. kind of set myself up a bit there, saying yeah, Al Nusi and whoever the second one was it maybe it was Oscar Bob. That person is also a glass, but of course it's Haaland. Of course, when I say something like that, of course it's gonna turn out to be Haaland. that's just that's just the way life works sometimes. Dean Smith on YouTube says, "Can you please wear it backwards?" I tried this. I tried to wear this one backwards, but it chokes my neck, and I think the red one's gonna be even worse because it's got a collar on it. Um, so yeah, when you wear it backwards, it's just very tight on the neck, and I had to go to hospital for this area of my neck over here. Um, So yeah, unfortunately can't wear it backwards, but the correct way I can do that. Speaking of backwards, Bellingham is passing it backwards. Goes to Reece James. Ooh, Rashford just passes it straight back to the Latvia player because that's how he works. I don't even know like why Rashford is playing. Like what is like, you know, what is Tuchel trying to do? Because Rashford ain't even good enough for his club anymore, and his club is in 15th. So like why? Like why? Like why is he like? You know what I mean? Like why? Why play Rashford? Like what are you trying to see that you haven't seen already from Rashford? We all know what Rashford is by now. It just feels like a waste of a spot. Like with Jared Bowen, I understand because he hasn't really been given much of an opportunity and he's still quite effective at the club level. But like with Rashford, it's like why? And also 2 games in a row, Rashford on the left. Surely there's better options. Why aren't Treble Grealish playing for England? Crazy how Tuchel don't rate him. Exactly. Mr. 100 million treble winner. Why isn't he playing? Gamer Cal 2 says, hey, I'm really enjoying this football stream. Well, I'm glad. Glad to hear that. I hope this stream is more exciting than the actual match. Because nothing much is happening in the actual match. But hope this stream is better than that. Yeah, like again, like Bellingham did like a little twisting the ball between his feet on the edge of the box, and then passes it. Tries to kick it through the player's legs, and he loses the ball. Yeah, always are. We are here chilling. Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much. It's officially it's an England versus Latvia Watchalong, but we spend most of the time just talking about Liverpool. It's like talking about Liverpool and hating on England. That's kind of the way it is. I don't even watching the games, just here to chill. Pretty much the same here, to be honest. Like I've got the game on like on my monitor, but I've also got like other things open, and I'm mostly just kind of rereading the kind of comments and things. It's more interesting. It's more interesting than the game, which is kind of why I was thinking I might start doing like transfer streams where we talk about the transfers and that sort of thing. It could be more interesting. I don't ever watch England, honestly. Yeah, England are not interested, are not the most fun to watch. And even like my friends and like people that I work with, they always say, "Oh, England are so boring." Um, so yeah, we all think England are pretty dull. It's a shame because I think if they've got some good players, and I think if they had like an attacking manager who could get the most out of them, they might then be exciting. But they had Southgate, who was a very defensive manager, and now they've got Tuchel, who's another defensive manager. So in some ways, it just feels like a bit of a shame, shall we say? Latvia taking a throw in now. Not that anyone cares. Oh, I'm starting to just support Latvia a bit now. I'm like, come on, Latvia. You can do. You can do it, Latvia. Latvia attacking down the left. England get the ball back. England are now going to kind of try and counter, are going to try and make something happen. They'll get to the edge of the Latvia box. They will smack the ball right into the legs of the Latvia player. And then Latvia will try to attack. So Bellingham's at the edge of the box, plays it out wide to Rashford on the far right. And Rashford smacks it right into the Latvia player, as I literally just said. Literally what I said would happen. England going to attack, they're going to smack the ball into the Latvia player, and then it's going to go out. Ooh, that's a tough question. That's a tough question. Start, bench, sell. Oh, God. Foden, Saka, Palmer. Okay, if it's for England, I don't know. I don't know if the question was in a general context, but if it's for England, I would start Saka because I don't know how many natural kind of right wingers that are. In general, that makes it even harder. I'll start with from an England perspective. So from an England perspective, I'd start Saka because I don't think they have many natural kind of right wingers. There's Saka and I guess there's Bowen. Whereas I think they have more kind of natural number 10. So I'd start Saka. I'd bench Foden. No, not Foden. I'd bench Palmer. Because I still think Palmer's a very good player, but there's more choice available in the middle. So that's why he wouldn't get in over Saka. I'd sell Foden because I've never seen Foden do anything in an England shirt. Whereas generally speaking, it might be quite similar to that. I can see arguments to start Palmer and bench Saka, but I think I'd stick with that. So I'd start Saka. Yeah, I would do that because I think generally in football as well, there's not as many good right wingers as there are kind of number 10s. So that's kind of my logic. So I'd start Saka, I'd bench Palmer, and I'd sell Foden. Oh yeah, you said the same thing. Yeah. So it's the great minds think alike there. Gamer Kel says, what positions would you strengthen for Liverpool? I would definitely buy a central striker, a left back, and a midfielder. Yes, that and a centre back as well. I think goalkeeper is covered with Alisson and Mamadashvili. If Trent stays, then right back is covered with Trent and Conor Bradley. In centre back, we need one because there's Van Dijk, but as we were saying earlier, Konate is quite injury prone. And I'm not sure Kwanzaa is fully ready yet, so I think we definitely need a centre back. Left back is one of the biggest pain points, I think. Robertson's kind of falling off a cliff at the moment, and so is kind of Tsimikas, so I think we need to sell at least one of those and look to bring someone in, maybe Kirkes or someone. I'm with you on the midfielder, Gamer Cal. I'd rather there'd be more of a defensive midfielder to provide a bit of cover for Gravenberch. Because like ahead of the park, we'd have Elliott, we'd have Szoboszlai, we'd have McAllister, we'd have Curtis Jones. So I'd say a more defensive midfielder. Central striker, yeah. So that's the big talking point at the moment. like your Isaacs, Alvarez, and if those two are a bit too expensive for us, then maybe Acuna. I've heard some rumors about Ekitike, who I think is French and he plays for Frankfurt. But again, Ekitike is very young. Ekitike is very young, so I'd be a bit cautious about him starting. Sinus says, Foden so overrated in my eyes. Yes. I think Foden's ability appears to be highly dependent on the team that he's in. So he performs well for Man City when he's surrounded by stars, surrounded by attacking talent. Whereas in England, where he perhaps doesn't have that, he often kind of struggles. Saka is the big star for Arsenal. Yeah, good point. He is. And that's another reason why I guess he'd get the start in this start bench. So Palmer, big Chelsea player, but has been ghosting a lot recently. Yeah, true. Had an amazing season last season, and I think he started well this season. Was it this season where he scored 4 goals? I think it was. Rashford with the cross there, but he just crosses it straight into the keeper's hands. Palmer, big Chelsea player, but has been ghosting a lot lately. Yeah. Okay, that's a good question. Do we want a real number 9 or just a false 9? My thoughts on this, not that I'm correct, it's just kind of my opinion. I would be leaning more towards a real number 9 at this point. I think the reason why we perhaps needed more of a false 9 in the past was because we had like Henderson, Fabinho and Milner, and they didn't really get forward as much. Whereas now we've got Szoboszlai who gets forward, we've got McAllister who gets forward. So we have more kind of natural number 10s. And even in this system, Curtis Jones gets forward a lot more. And of course, Harvey Elliott. So I think with that in mind, I don't think we necessarily need a false 9 to be the creative outlet anymore. Because we've got midfielders to be the creative outlet. So if you had like a Szoboszlai and you had a false 9, is there a concern that they'd both kind of get in the way of each other? Because they're both trying to play in that number 10 position. So for that reason, I'd favor like a real number 9. But yeah, I'm curious as to kind of what everyone else thinks. Firmino type false 9 or a real Fernando Torres type. Yeah, for me, I'd be looking more at a Fernando Torres type within this team. But if it was still a Jurgen Klopp team 3 years ago, then I'd probably say more kind of false 9. That's another good question. Let's say we buy Zubimendi. So Gravenberch, Zubimendi. Would you start McAllister or Szoboszlai as the 10? I'd say it depends. On the team. So I'd say it depends on the team that we're playing. If it's a team who is going to sit back a lot, so like the lower level teams, in those kind of matches, I would favour starting McAllister as the number 10 because he can use his intelligence to kind of pick out passes. He can use his intelligence to kind of break low blocks. Yeah, as you're saying there, Snus. He can use his passing, he can use his vision to break a low block. Whereas, if it's a team that doesn't play a low block, and it's a team that comes at us, so for example, Newcastle come at us. Against the Newcastle, I'd favour more of a Szoboszlai in the number 10. But McAllister still brings value against the Newcastle. So maybe against the Newcastle, it would be a Zubimendi or Gravenberch, and then McAllister and Szoboszlai. But yeah, it's good. It's a good problem to have. Different types of players who have different strengths. McAllister could easily break down the low block. And for more physical, we're thinking along the same line. So McAllister against the teams who would kind of sit back a bit, whereas the teams that would come at us, like your Newcastles and like potentially your Man Cities, then Szoboszlai will be more suited, I think. McAllister's a world-class Harvey Elliott, yeah. A world-class Harvey Elliott with better tackling and some additional attributes as well. We've both seen Harvey Elliott and McAllister break down low blocks. Yeah, I think it's their passing. It's their passing and their vision is probably some of the best in the team. Boo! Ball just falls to Harry Kane just outside the box and he has a clear shot on goal and he misses. Yeah, Harry Kane just missed the target from like right inside the box. He's been missing a lot. Good old Harry Kane recently. Must be those Liverpool links have got him all flustered. Isn't that typical Harry Kane? Yeah. Typical, yeah. Miss quite a few shots and then score a tap in and then celebrate like he's the best thing on earth. Kane with the ball again, and again England just kind of play it off. They try and do a intelligent pass and they end up just smacking it right into the player. They're just showing a replay of Harry Kane's missed shot there. Sinus says, I wouldn't mind Zubimendi, but I don't think we will go for him for all the time waste for him. Yeah, I don't think so either. It kind of sends the wrong message as well to perhaps other players to say you can mess us around, and even if you mess us around, we'll come back in for you. So I think it would also kind of send out the wrong message. Speaking of sending out the wrong message, Phil Foden's coming on, so that was great timing. But yeah, it would send out the wrong message to other players who we are interested in, to say, yeah, you can mess us about, and even if you mess us about, we'll come back for you. So yeah, I don't think it will be Zubimendi specifically, but it will be a Zubimendi type of player. But let's say we get him, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and Zubimendi. We are so stacked in the midfield position then. Yeah. and even adding a Stefan Bajcetic. Yeah. Um, you know what I said 5 seconds ago, that Harry Kane, he's missed that shot and he's gonna score a tap in. That's just happened. So it's like, you just know because you've seen it. You've seen this happen. You've seen this, and I'm gonna update the score. See, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. There you go. And I'm even, I'm even gonna write tap in. So, um, yeah, Declan Rice kind of got into space. Um, Kane with a kind of far post, a tap in at the far post. Um, but yeah, as we were saying, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, Zubamendi. We are so stacked in the midfield position then, and even Bajcetic. Agree 100%. And I think it makes a nice change from the situation we were in a few years ago, where we didn't have any sort of midfield. We had Henderson, who was getting on a bit. We had Fabinho, who was getting on a bit. We had Milner, who was getting on a bit a few years ago, and so was beyond a bit at this point. We had Oxlade-Chamberlain, who just was too injured to ever play. We had Naby Keita, who was too injured to ever play. So it's the midfielder has made the 360 to a certain degree, or 180, I guess. Um, so yeah, midfield starting to kind of get stacked. It's stacked and it's quite young as well. So Curtis Jones, early 20s. Harvey Elliott, I think, is 20. McAllister, I think, is 25. So Bosley, I think, 23. Gravenberch, I think, early. Yeah, Gravenberch is early 20s. Zubamendi's probably like mid 20s. So yeah, stacked and quite young. And also Bajcetic, who's probably around 20. Um, T Swift 20 says, how is the Liverpool Legends game? Very good, very entertaining. Two goals for Peter Crouch. A lot of legends were there. So we had Dirk Kuyt, Steven Gerrard, Peter Crouch, Claude Makélélé, Gianfranco Zola. I thought I really had fun for something that I thought, I'm not sure if I'm gonna enjoy it, or I'm not sure that it's worth the money. I'm not sure it's worth the effort. Like I thought it was great. So I definitely go again. Um, Declan Rice assist. Well, yeah, world class shout is gonna come from this from the Arsenal fans. Yeah, Arsenal fans and Chelsea fans can argue who's more world class, Reece James or Declan Rice, based on their performance against Latvia. The funny thing as well, it is 2-0, which is what was predicted at the start. If it stays like this, it would be quite funny. Legends match is always a fun thing. Yeah, yeah. They're always good. They're always good to watch on the TV. Um, I was excited when I booked it a few months ago, and then a few days ago, I was like, oh, I need to go. I need to catch the train to Liverpool. I don't know if I have energy for this, but and the train was full. The train was full of people with Liverpool shirts on. Um, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Declan Rice or Caicedo? Probably Caicedo. Um, they both have their merits though. Chelsea fans and Arsenal fans will argue about Declan Rice versus Caicedo. Yeah, whose overpriced midfielder is better? Exactly. Who who really is worth over 100 million? Yeah. Who got the money's worth? Is it the 105 million or the 150 million? Yeah. We'll keep our 35 million McAllister. So just a corner now. Corner for Latvia. Come on, Latvia. Make something happen, Latvia. Latvia with the cross. Cleared out by Konza. Ooh, long shot by Latvia. Konza's countering. Okay, at least do a counter attack, something exciting. Okay, who's that countering? Oh, it's Rashford, so nothing's going to happen. Rashford 1-on-1 with the defender. Passes it to Harry Kane. Smacks it against the Latvia player. Yeah, nothing much happened there as expected. Sinus says, I think McAllister is worth over 100 million. I think given the season he's having, I think it's a fair point. He's had a world-class season. Last season he was very good as well, but I think this season especially, he's shown his quality. I think we got lucky getting him for 35 million. I think there was some sort of clause in the contract. But I remember, like, before we signed him, like, the news and rumors were saying, okay, it's probably going to be like 65, 70 million. And then it was like, okay, it's probably going to be 50 million. And then we got him for 35, which is a no-brainer, a no-brainer for that price. McAllister is the real player in that convo. He is. Too bad we got McAllister, Endo, and Szoboszlai for the same price as Caicedo. Yeah. So McAllister I think was about 35. Sabo was about 60, so then that's 95. And Endo I think was 17. So yeah, pretty much exactly the same. It maybe slightly cheaper, but yeah, we I think that's the thing as well. We needed to do a whole midfield rebuild, so we had to get a few players, but it's worked out quite nicely. You mean back-to-back seasons? Yeah. He's been a top player. I made the right choice getting the McAllister shirt. I could have gotten who could I have gotten on the back? I could have gotten somebody else, but no one's really played that badly. I could have gotten Robertson at the back. That would be a bad decision. But yeah, McAllister's been a safe bet. Him scoring that penalty against Man United right before he signed for us. Yeah, McAllister, like, he's quite good on penalties. Like, if Salah was to leave, I mean, Salah is going to leave eventually. And if McAllister's still here, I'd like to see McAllister on penalties. McAllister's very good at penalties. Szoboszlai is also very good at penalties. Ooh, Eze just kind of cuts in and makes it 3-0, and I'm going to update the score. I'm getting better at this. This game's had 3 goals now, but it's still not quite as exciting. So just played out to the left. As a 1-on-1 with the defender, he did his little tricky tricks. Cut inside on the right, smacked it low, and the ball kind of bobbled in. Just watching the replay there. Decent goal. McAllister scoring that pen against Man United right before we signed him sold me right away. Yeah, that was once you'd seen the penalty, you're like, that's it. I'm all in on this guy. I'm all in on McAllister. I knew he would be a Liverpool player after he celebrated like he did against United when he played Brighton. Yeah, he fulfilled the criteria. So the number one necessary criteria to sign for Liverpool is to hate Man United. So yeah, that's all we needed, to be honest. Morgan Rogers is breaking forward now. Have Latvia given up? Morgan Rogers with a left-footed shot, but it just goes wide. I backed him from the start, and I'll forever back McAllister. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Some people, especially on kind of YouTube and things, were kind of hating on McAllister, saying that, oh, he's not physical enough. He's not fast enough. Speaking of not physical and fast enough, Jordan Henderson's coming on. Again, I'm not timing this deliberately. It's just the same. Like, it's just something's happening. But yeah, people were saying McAllister's not physical enough. He's not kind of fast enough. So quite a few people were hating on him, but he did well last season, and he's done good this season. Um, we're very lucky to have him. He's a starting Argentina international as well, as everyone knows. So top top player. So Curtis Jones is coming on. Jordan Brian Henderson is coming on, and Kyle AC Milan Walker is coming on. I'd be interested to see who they're coming on for. He is my type of player. Yeah, I definitely see that. Technically very good. He isn't physical or fast, but his IQ is so high, so he knows exactly what to do. True, I would say he's deceptively physical. Like he's good. He likes a good tackle. Like he's not the biggest. He's not like he's not like 6'4" like Gakpo. He's not like super jacked, but like he likes a good tackle. He likes a good tackle. But his IQ is very high. Yes, he sees things. He sees things that not every player sees. So I think we're super lucky to kind of have McAllister, especially for the fee that we paid. I think that's the thing you said there, Sunus. Joel Linton would bully him, and he did when we played Newcastle. Yeah, I think Newcastle's midfield is just so physical. They've got Joe Linton, who's literally a monster. He's like 7'10", and he isn't just tall as well. Like he's literal muscle. He's quick. Bruno's similar to McAllister in some ways, and I think so is Tonali. But yeah, that midfield that they've built is pretty amazing. The annoying thing is a little bit. We were linked with Bruno Guimaraes back in the day. I think Michael Edwards really wanted to bring Bruno Guimaraes in, but Klopp said no, and then Henderson ended up staying. But yeah, the midfield that they've built is pretty amazing. And Sandro Tonali is another one. Sandro Tonali, being from Italy, I wasn't sure how he'd adapt. I wasn't sure how he'd adapt to the Premier League, whether the league would be kind of too fast for him. But Tonali's done really good. He just needs to go do a bit more betting so he goes missing again. So let's get him on the bookies again so that he gets another suspension. But yeah, when he's playing, he's good. We need a Bruno G over an 8 Tonali, but Jesus, yeah, Bruno G. I don't want to say surprised, but I was surprised a little bit when Newcastle got him, because back then they were just starting out this journey, and I was like, wow, okay, Newcastle have got him, but fair play to them. He's worked out for them. Newcastle have had some very good signings. So Bruno G's been very good. Obviously, Isak's been really good. Joe Linton, who was playing up front, they've now converted to a midfielder, and he's really good. Livramento, really good. Trippier's been quite good. Botman, quite good as well. So Newcastle have spent money, but they haven't spent it in the wrong places like Man United. They've spent it in the right places, and they've gotten the right players. So I mean, fair play to them. Tonali was definitely my favourite midfielder at AC Milan. I wanted him badly at Liverpool. Yeah, did you see the Newcastle video when he joined? He didn't look too happy. He didn't look too happy about leaving AC Milan. I think his partner was with him, and his partner was like, "Look how nice the training room is," and he was like, "Yeah, the Newcastle training room is nice, but the AC Milan one's better." Yeah. I think, did you buy him from Napoli? I don't know if it was Napoli, but I think you did buy him from another Italian club. I can't remember who. Because like back in the day when I used to play Football Manager, I'd always buy Sandro Tonali. but I can't remember who from. It was another Italian club beforehand. Um, but kind of glad we didn't go for him because of the betting charges. Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate how that whole thing happened. And now I want Reinders from AC Milan. Yes, he's one that we saw yesterday and a few days ago for Netherlands. Looks like a good player, Reinders. Yeah, he loves AC Milan. They were forced to sell him because of the PSR. Yeah, it's one of those things, PSR. And I think similar sort of things might happen to Newcastle. Um, Similar sort of things might happen to Aston Villa as well. So Latvia trying to make something happen. Playing it to their left back again. I have no idea who their left back is. Curtis Jones wins the ball high on the pitch. Good for Curtis Jones. He then passes it to Eze. Um, but Eze unfortunately smacks it against the first defender and the ball goes out. Foden's going to take a corner now. He's going to hit it with his left foot by the looks of it. An in-swinger by the looks of it. Or an out-swinger actually. Rubbish corner. Goalkeeper. Goal, Goalkeeper just kind of picks it up instantly. So he loved AC Milan. They were forced to sell him because of the PSR rules. I would love to see Tonali back at AC Milan one day. Who knows if it would happen? It's entirely possible, I guess. One second. What's Tonali's age? Okay, so Sandro Tonali is only 24. I thought he was a lot older than that, to be fair. But the guy's 24. It must be the beard, right? It makes us look older. So AC Milan have sold so many talents recently. So annoyed over that. Piero Kalulu is loaned and Juventus definitely going to buy him. Trying to think of other big talents. There was a guy sold to Atlanta. Yeah, they have lost quite a few players. Is Suso still at AC Milan? Because he was a Liverpool player, right? And I think he went to AC Milan. I don't know if he's still there. I'm just checking. Oh no, I'm 5 years out of date with that. So he's at Sevilla. He's been playing for Sevilla for the last 5 years. No. Yeah, just slightly out of date. Just looking at the squad. So you got Mike Magnon, good keeper, good French keeper there. Theo Hernandez, very good left back. Kyle Walker, who we're seeing today. You got Tamori, Yusuf Fafana. Okay, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Okay, Pulisic. Yeah, Reinders, who we saw for Netherlands. Tammy Abraham, Felix, Jovic, Liao. Yeah, Liao. He's another one. Would you like to see Liao at Liverpool? Some people have been talking about that as a kind of left wing option. Charles de Ketelaere sold to Atlanta. Another big talent. And Noah Okafor to Napoli, and nah, not interested in the Leao to Liverpool. Fair. England again, it's like England are winning 3-0, but this doesn't really feel like a 3-0 performance, if you know what I mean. Um, it will get hyped up as, oh my god, 3-0, like 3-0, yeah, 3-0 performance, but like, does it really feel like a 3-0? I'm not 100% convinced. Um, I feel he's not good enough for Liverpool FC, so that's Rafael Leao. They would want 100 million for Rafael. Maybe more isn't worth it. Um, yeah, I think you're right. I think Liao in particular has that PR, like he's a big name, and I think whenever you get big names, they often come with big price tags. Like if he was an unknown and an unknown quantity, and we could get him on a good deal, then maybe. But because he's got a reputation, because he's quite famous, yeah, I think 100 million would take a lot out of the budget, so probably not the best option. Foden taking another corner. Left footed in swinger. Cleared out. Well done, Philip. Santiago Jimenez, Reinders, and Francesco Camada is the only players from AC Milan that I would take at Liverpool. Jimenez, is he midfielder, that one? Santiago Jimenez. Wow, Francesco Camada has scored over 400 goals for AC Milan youth team. That's amazing. Never, I might need to learn. I might need to look this guy up. Francesco Camada. 17 years old. I mean, if he scored 400 goals, that's pretty crazy. 6'1", so he's a good height for a striker. Ah, of course, Jimenez. Yes, that Jimenez. Yes, of course. On a slot, Jimenez. Jordan Brian Henderson on the ball, plays it to Reece James. Two world-class players, passing the ball between them. Goes out to Carl Walker. Back to Konza. Back to whoever's playing left back at this point. I've got no idea. I've barely been watching this game because it's England. Brian Henderson passes it forward. Brian Henderson wins the header. It's like, come on, England, why are you playing keep ball? Like, it's Latvia and you're 3-0 up. Like, you might as well just take a risk. You might as well just try something silly. You might as well just try something crazy. Like, what have you got to lose at this point? Even if it's 3-1, that's not the end of the world, and England just give the ball away. Kamada is a real superstar, one to watch out for in the future. Yeah, I'm with those kind of numbers. I'm not surprised. Sounds it sounds pretty elite. Brian with the cross. Konza with the ball. Brian with the ball. Brian passes it to Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones passes it back to Brian. Come on, guys. You're 3-0 up. Like, why are you playing keep ball? And again, final whistle. Like, what's the point? You're 3-0 up. You're 3-0 up, and there's 1 minute left, and you're just passing it left, passing it right, passing it. Just pass it forward. You got 1 minute left, and it's Latvia. Like, what are Latvia gonna do? Just try something crazy. You know what I mean? Like, if you were like 1-0 up, if you were 1-0 up in a Champions League final, I'd understand you playing left, right, left, right, left, right, so they can't get the ball. But you're 3-0 up against Latvia in a game that doesn't matter. Just pass it forward. Heck, take a shot from 50 yards. Just do something. It's just frustrating. But let's see what's happening. I really want him to stay at Milan as long as possible. Yeah, I mean with those type of numbers, I'm not surprised. 400 goals for the youth team is crazy. It is crazy. It's literal Tuchel ball. Pass right, pass left, pass back, pass right, pass left. This whole like keeping the ball obsession, which again I understand, there's a time and place for it, but when you're 3-0 up against Latvia and you've just bored the life out of everyone watching to the point where we just rather talk about Liverpool instead, and even other people who are probably on their phones or whatever, take a shot, pass the ball forward. It's just England. They're so scared of Latvia that they are terrifying. Those terrifying Latvians who might score 3 goals in 10 seconds. Might score 3 goals in 10 seconds and, you know. Oh, God. I hope that's the end of England now. That's why I love on the slot football. Yeah. We pass right, pass left, but Jesus, haha. At least we create chances. Yeah, we wait for the opportunity, we wait for the chance, but then when the chance comes, we take it. These guys here, they had chances, but they were just passing it left and right with a minute left. Like, why would you run down the clock against Latvia when I don't know, when you're 3-0 up? But hey ho, that's a good win for England. So in terms of the next stream then, I won't be around tomorrow. I think it might have to be Barcelona on Thursday. Yeah, so it's Barcelona Osasuna on Thursday. Never around for Norway games. It does sound like it. Who's playing tomorrow actually? Out of curiosity. Moldova, Estonia, Israel, Norway, Liechtenstein, Kazakhstan, Macedonia, Wales, Gibraltar, Czech Republic, Montenegro, Faroe Islands. Yeah, some interesting games. It's a shame I'm not home for that. I watch it on TV anyway, so it's fine. Yeah, that's probably one of those games where you want to watch the game. Oh, is it Egypt? Why is Egypt's Sierra Leone not coming up on my match feed? Oh yeah, so Egypt's Sierra Leone. So it would be interesting to see what happens with Salah there. Wednesday I'm not around either, but Wednesday there's there's Argentina Brazil, but it's like at midnight, and I'd be asleep anyway. But yeah, so the next one, uh, probably Barcelona Osasuna. That could be good. Nothing much on Friday, and then Saturday. I was gonna say the Premier League's back, but it's the FA Cup. But yeah, I'll figure it out. But yeah, cool. So, boo India, boo. Yeah, FA boring. Like even when I looked at it, I was like, oh, FA Cup, and then I was like, oh, it's Fulham Crystal Palace. No, I really want to watch Fulham Crystal Palace. I mean, Brighton versus Nottingham Forest. That could be interesting. Brighton always decent. Um, Nottingham Forest doing well. Um, but yeah, cool. All right. So that's this. Mitoma will cook, and maybe João Pedro will cook, and we'll see how Nottingham Forest get on. But yeah, I'll be back on Thursday, guys. So hopefully doing the Barcelona game. But yeah, thanks for your time. Hopefully this stream was more interesting than the England team, because God knows no one likes England. But yeah, I'll be off. Take care, guys. Thanks for your time, and yeah, we'll catch up soon. Thank you.